It was all action from the moment the bell rang, and almost thankful to get a moment to himself after dumping Steamboat back to the floor, letting you know that Savage understood he was in a fight unlike any other he'd been in before. The Macho Man was trying everything, and that included fighting dirty, but Steamboat, and Savage's frustration led to him making a big one, charging at Steamboat only to be backdropped to the floor. Steamboat finally had a huge opportunity to pour on the pressure. It felt like time stood still once the bell rang, and Hogan and Andre approached each other in the center of the ring. It was finally here. The reason all these people were in the arena. The dominant 3-year WWE champion and body slam Andre, nearly losing the match in the process. Could Hogan slam Andre? Would he try it again? Did he hurt his back or his knees in that failed lift? Andre, thinking he'd won the match, would have to recompose and get back on the task of taking out the Hulkster. But Andre easily backdropped him to the floor. If Andre could shake off headbutting the ring post so quickly, what was it going to take to keep him down for a 3 count? Hulkamania was looking to be in deep, deep trouble. That moment where Hogan finally takes Andre down with the clothesline and slams him. Nobody thought he could do it. One of the most magical moments in WWE history. Hogan was in full... Warrior wasted no. Ultimate Warrior had steamrolled his challenger in the opening moments. Just enough time to get his knees up and block the attack. Big time ring awareness shown by the Ravishing One to keep himself in the match. Roode needed to take advantage here because his opportunities for offense were few and far between. Hogan came into this match incensed, and the Macho Man, now a once rampaging Hogan, had slowed things down, looking to restore some order. The Macho Man's actions sent a clear message that anything goes and anyone. Savage had. Why not go for the leg drop? Hogan's flash of offense is extinguished as quickly as it started, and Randy Savage seemed to have Hogan on the brink of exhaustion in their mega power collision. In one of the more surprising... was in the air. Seeing Hogan struggle like this wasn't something the WWE Universe was used to. After the clothesline sent him crashing to the floor, Hogan appeared to hurt his knee. The last... Every bit the dominant superstar, getting to his feet while Hogan stays down. The Hulkster was running out of magic. Could he find one more? Hogan had been out-muscled by opponents before, but they were usually 7 feet tall or 400-plus pounds. The referee gets flattened, and now there's no one to count falls. As Warrior lifted Hogan up, things were looking perilous for the Hulkster. Hogan crashes hard to the mat. Now it was just up to the Ultimate Warrior. Would Piper's desire to win and be champion override his desire to play fair? Could Hart use Piper's legendary temper as a constant exploit? Piper was already reverting to the man people knew him to be, and Hart was looking to exploit that fiery temper by embarrassing. Piper continued to show glimpses of the old Hot Rod. Piper slapped a taste out of Hart for gold bricking, as Bobby Heenan famously called it, and this once friendly competition was turning into the heated brawl many figured it. unloading a huge sucker punch. The gloves were off, and the two were in a fight for survival. Hart wanted to use little tricks, while Piper just suckered him with the old, your shoes untied. A huge shot from... Ramon was looking to prove that despite never lying with a huge right hand. Ramon floors Michaels, and now with Diesel banned from ringside, it looks like the Heartbreak Kid. Heading into this match, Ramon now had a weak point. Michaels crashes that ladder right into the ribs of Ramon, and he has completely turned the tide of this match. Him to get to his knees and topple the ladder over. Shawn Michaels could see the match starting to slip away, but instead of panicking, he'd look onto the downed Ramon. It was now or never for Razor Ramon as hit. Hart immediately showed why this match was perfect for him. Instead of just punching Austin's face, he'd attack Austin's legs instead. Bret wanted to make sure that his search the leg, break it down, and the submission opportunities would come. As the two continued to fight, the action would again return to... Hart continued to maintain control, but in favor of Austin tried to rally the Rattlesnake back to his feet one more time. Cut bad, and now down again. Was there anything left in Stone Cold? When Hart locked in the sharpshooter, you could see two clear reactions. One group was loudly cheering, sure that the Hitman had done what... Before the bell could even make this match official, the action was underway. Ready for Austin's tactics? Would he be able to get back into the match quickly before Austin really started stumping? Once the action went to the ringside area, the brutality as WWE Champion. Back and forth they'd gone, but neither Cold Steve Austin looked ready to strike and finish his quest of regaining the WWE Championship under some unthinkable circumstances. It was inevitable. Stone Cold was going to win, and it was obvious to everyone watching. The Rock had been able to get back into it once Mr. McMahon had arrived. I'm the champion for a reason, and I'm just as good as you are. Nobody able to grab control. Moving out of the way the second that Eddie dove at him from the top rope. Eddie went chest first into the barricade, taking all the air out of him. As Angle maintained his control, Eddie again grew desperate, looking for any chance to get Angle his frog splash to a downed Angle. Each time Eddie took a risk, it failed to pay off. Was Kurt baiting him to force the mistakes, or was Eddie just rushing the opportunity? Eddie would need to make adjustments if he was going to find the victory. Match. No one able to maintain a dominant position for long. Both men were unsure of their path to victory. But Eddie had fought so hard to get back into the match. Struggling to get Angle back to his feet, hoping... Shawn Michaels and Kurt Angle came into this match looking to prove their superiority over the other. Now, the match was about to kick up a notch. Angle looking to suplex Shawn Michaels right through the announce table showed how... An Angle slam into the ring post was not what anyone was expecting to see so early. But Angle would look to target Shawn's main weak point, going for the back that had been injured and the only thing that had worked at that point. And now, HBK had turned the tables, with Angle hurting on the arena floor. Back up, only to take them right back down. Despite controlling the match at this point, Angle would inexplicably lose his cool. His inability to referee continued to count. No way this would end in a double countout, right? But that was stopped, with Shawn finally getting back to his feet. Running on fumes, Kurt Angle would try once more. Two of WWE still knew some less than honorable tactics to help keep the match in his favor. Shawn knew that if he wanted to end the streak, he would have to use every single trick in him. Undertaker rushed it. Shawn was getting back up. Shawn floored him with a huge low bridge enziguri to stay in control. Shawn would not allow Undertaker any chance to recover. Things were tooth and nail to this point, with both Undertaker and Shawn Michaels seeking the win. That the match not be stopped, but instead that the official start the 10 count. Did Michaels really want a count-out win? Would he be satisfied ending the streak in that fashion? Undertaker had managed to get back into the match after many thought he was finished, and now he was looking to take Shawn, beating the referee's count to kick out at 2. This marquee matchup was not only living up to expectation, it was surpassing them. Undertaker would have to shake off the disappointment of the failed pin attempt and get back to showing Michaels that the darkness was stronger than the light. Now Undertaker would counter the tombstone into a miraculous DDT, once again flooring the Phenom. Michaels then went back into the corner, looking to recompose himself. Was it time to set up some sweet chin music? Michaels' chance was here. Undertaker was hoping to squash Shawn in the corner, sensing that Michaels was nearly finished. But pure instinct didn't get either man very far, though Undertaker was able to hit a shot on Brock over the top rope to get back into the match. The two had smashed each other with huge punches and knees, yet neither seemed to feel the effects. Brock had Undertaker against the ropes here and was ready to start putting it on him immediately, but ran into Undertaker's boot. The Phenom would need to stay alert and push the action if he was going to conquer the Beast. Show his supernatural resiliency, able to kick out of the F5 when it certainly seemed to many that he was finished. Undertaker was struggling in there with Brock, but wasn't out yet. Surely he'd be able to get back into this match and continue his WrestleMania domination? Brock's face is the picture of frustration here, but it seems misplaced when he's got firm control of this match. The big question right now is, what can Undertaker do to get back into the match? How can he keep the streak alive? Undertaker gave everyone one last moment of hope as he elbowed free from Brock's F5 attempt. But a match that had seen Lesnar thwart Undertaker at Orton and Rollins struggled out on the ropes. Just like that, Rollins had neutralized Orton's offense and looked ready to pour it on further. What adjustments would Orton have to make now that his RKO had failed him? Orton wanted to try for another RKO, knowing that the quick strike would be the end of Rollins. Orton had finally put Seth in a bad spot and backed into the corner, looking to deliver his infamous punt kick. With a stomp, the same stomp that had taken Orton out of action. Rollins would evade another attempt at the RKO as he had done throughout the match. But then, vividly, was that Lesnar didn't immediately go for the pin. Some people think it was respectful, you know, like Roman's not done yet. I saw it as Lesnar not wanting to let Reigns off the hook so easy. It was going exactly how Brock Lesnar wanted it to go. Roman Reigns would give everyone a glimpse of what he had inside, somehow kicking out at 2. For the first time in the entire match, Brock Lesnar seemed at a loss as to what to do next. Would he just have to hit F5 after F5 until Roman stayed down? Everyone in the stadium thought Roman was done after that F5. He was showing us all exactly what he was made of, and it was clearly starting to frustrate a once supreme. With both Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns having taken serious amounts of damage to this point, what in the world could possibly stop Seth Rollins from completely... Ronda Rousey was the obvious target for Becky and Charlotte, but Ronda immediately went on the offensive, bullying Becky back in the corner. Herself. Rousey had overwhelmed Charlotte and Becky with her blitzing offense, but Becky was able to compose herself quickly enough to avoid another Piper's Pit, leaving Ronda on the defensive. Now, as we all drill Ronda with a low drop kick. With Ronda out of the way, now the Queen and the Man had the ring all to themselves. With Ronda still down and out, Charlotte did not let up, repeatedly slamming Becky's face into the mat. Charlotte was making the most of Ronda Rousey being down, willing to put... When Charlotte tried... While her attempts at getting the pin failed both times, Becky was now in firm control and didn't show... Becky to the floor. Charlotte knew exactly what needed to be done in that ring, looking to get the pin when she saw Ronda down. The Queen was in top shape, and despite not getting the pin, she was rolling. Stone Cold said he was coming to open one last can of whoop-ass on KO inside out, giving Austin a chance to take a quick beverage break. Instant refreshment. It had been 19 years since Steve Austin competed in a WrestleMania ring, but he looked as good as he ever had once the fight started. If anything, it seemed like KO had really forgotten who he was dealing with. Austin had been all over Owens from the second this fight became an official match, showing no signs of stopping. Taking the fight to the ringside area seemed like an easy call, but KO finally managed. But somehow, Austin was able to reverse the momentum and send Owens crashing through the table instead. KO wanted to bring the table into this, and now he was paying the very... Perhaps getting a little too comfortable, Austin appeared to take his eye off the ball for a second. But that was all Kevin Owens needed to drop Austin with a hot shot and finally catch a breather from the constant onslaught. But instead of following up with devastating offense, KO looked to commit grand... As he had numerous times in his legendary career, Austin was able to hurt Owens again, regaining command of the fight. With KO dazed, Austin threw him onto the announce table. Remember, Owens had tried and failed to use a table earlier, so now Austin wanted to turn. Austin's plan finally ready to bring this back in the ring. KO needed to turn the tide, and fast, or he will his dismantling of Kevin Owens. We've seen a lot of things from Steve Austin at WrestleMania, but opening a can in this location, right when it looked like Austin was on his way to victory, bam! KO shocks the whole building by dropping Austin with a stunner. KO to hit himself with the chair. Another humiliation in a series of them on this night for... Rhea Ripley wanted to prove that a new generation was ready to... When she caught Charlotte on her shoulders and spiked her into the top turnbuckle, Charlotte crumbled to the mat. And just like that, her quick start was a thing of the past. And now Ripley had her choice of how to punish the champion. Rhea had continued to put her brutality on display, ready to finish Charlotte, and was now firmly in the driver's seat. Rhea started hitting Charlotte with some big shots. And even then, how Charlotte kicked out, we may never know. At this point, you could see the resignation on the face of Rhea Ripley. If that super German suplex wasn't going to put Charlotte away, what was? But you can't give up in moments like these. This is where Rhea was going to show us exactly what she was made of. A rare double knockout brought the action to a halt, as these two were proving to be more evenly matched than initially anticipated. But it was Charlotte who appeared to be the fresher competitor, getting to her feet first. And then nearly Rhea Ripley looked lost for the first time in the contest. Was Charlotte's refusal to just stay down starting to affect Rhea's confidence? But now wasn't the time to panic. That's what Charlotte Flair wanted from Ripley. That's what makes Charlotte Flair so great, so dangerous. Her ability to just survive will have you... Rhea and Charlotte both wore the effects of the battle. Despite only being made official weeks prior to WrestleMania, the entire WWE Universe was excited to see this clash between Asuka and Bianca Belair. Asuka looked to take control, sidestepping, completely muscling Asuka over the top rope and crashing hard to the mat. If Asuka was going to win that night, she'd have to avoid letting Bianca get a hold of her. Eventually, Belair was able to wear Asuka down with her power, and a huge body slam looked to completely deflate the Empress of Tomorrow. Powerful lung blower, regaining control in this incredible... What made this match stand out was how Asuka and Belair were both... Cody Rhodes had the early momentum by dropkick to floor Cody. Reigns was primed to get back on the attack after the interference of Solo, looking to smash Cody Rhodes, and Reigns was cruising, not having yielded the momentum once he got it. But like Rhodes earlier, Roman would take a trip to ringside that would take his control away. In an instant, Roman's trajectory had changed drastically. It was all Things really broke down later on in the match, though. Cody Lee crawling toward Roman with a cover. We believe he's got it wrapped up. Who is going to kick out of a stunner? And would anyone feel bad if Roman... Cody's adrenaline was high, and he could see that Roman was fading. Without anyone to help, Solo Sikoa would appear and use his Samoan spike to obliterate Cody. You had to feel for Cody. All the work he'd put in to get back to this spot.